I was in varsity, I had this lecturer who was in his maybe 50s, early 60s, and we were fond of each other. He would call me to his office, ask me how school went, just basically gave me intro, was interested in me, showed me affection, warmth. If I was stressed, I could go talk to him, just have those kind of rapport. We wouldn't argue on social issues. Basically, we were friendly. But anytime the man would call me or anytime I would pass him, I would feel something in my heart. I'm like, what is going on? What is this feeling that I am feeling in my chest for my lecturer? So I began to interrogate my feelings. It dawned on me that no, this feeling of lust that I had in me, this feeling of a crush, in quote, was because I had associated men's affection, men's interest, men's kindness, respect, whatever it is, rescue with sex. And I had never had a man in my life guide me, want me to be the best that I can be without wanting to get something back. It was really difficult for me to come to terms with the fact that I have lived a very transactional life because the men that I meet in my life always want something back from me. That's when it dawned on me that maybe I actually do have what we call daddy issues. Daddy issues basically means that this is someone who did not grow up with a father figure. Doesn't have to be just physically. This is someone that did not grow up with an emotionally present father figure who now has to find those things that she was looking for in a father in other men. That's the basic terminology. A lot of us do not like that word. I did not want to accept it because it made me feel like a victim. And again, people use it to shame women. If you're sexually active, they say you've got that issues. If you're dating someone much older, they say you've got that issues. And I'm like, this is just my spec. But when you recognize that daddy issues is not just, in quote, something that women deal with, but something that men and women deal with. It's actually a psychological thing that goes back to your childhood. So if you're growing up as a child and you don't have secure attachment, meaning you don't have a strong bond with the people that are meant to guide you, your father, your mom, uncle, auntie, whatever, whoever it is that is taking responsibility of you at that time, if you don't have strong, secure attachment, when you grow up and you continue to get into relationships, it's going to manifest in the kind of attachment that you have with people. So we have avoidance attachment and other things like that. Now, daddy issues is the umbrella term in which it is termed as. You can replace it there with your mom, you can replace it there with your uncle, your aunt, whatever it is, your grandmom, your granddad, whoever it is that you grew up with. So it means that it doesn't have to be just the fact that your father is not there. It could be that maybe you even grew up with your grandparents and they were not emotionally active. They were not emotionally present for you there. These things will still manifest in your relationship. So it was until I had to go do the research for myself before I said, whoa, this is so true. For someone like me who just, I love guidance, I love being guided, because to me that means I'm learning. It means that I'm following someone who's much more knowledgeable than me, who wants the best for me. And growing up, I never really got that in my home. I never really got that from women. A lot of women, I'm sorry to say this, we don't have a lot of women we don't have enough, let's use that word. We don't have enough women who guide young girls. But there were men every single way I looked. There were men who were willing to, in quote, guide me. There were men who were, in quote, interested in my dreams and in my vision. But there was something that they needed back from me. They would always want something in exchange. And the thing with daddy issues is that it's not always as visible as you think. Oh, she's 16, the man is 45, so she has daddy issues, and if she's with him, the man is using her, blah, blah, blah. That's not how it comes across. That's not how it is at all. So if you're a young girl, let's say you're 15, 16 years old, and there's a guy who's 35, I don't even want to push it all the way to 40s because we know we get there, but let's put it at 30. There's this guy who is 31, 32, and every time you're going back from school, oh, how was school? You guys would gist, school was okay, is everything okay? Are you struggling? I'm struggling, I don't really have my books, blah, blah, blah. You give you money for books. You don't have money for MB, you give you money for MB. These things to you could be harmless. This is just an elderly guy who is taking care of you, who just, this is something that's, how much is MB? Nothing too much. You're stressed, you don't have anybody to talk to about what's going on in your house. Maybe that is now during the time where you and your mom, you're always clashing. This guy is right there for you, talking to you. It's okay, you know that is how life is, giving you wisdom nuggets, in quote. When you start building this kind of rapport with that guy who is in his 30s, let's use that word, you would never assume that it's because you have daddy issues. You would never assume that that guy wants something from you, because he hasn't even asked for anything back. All he's doing now is, oh, what's up now, blah, 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 how you going, blah, blah, how is school, what do you need? He's taking care of you, as in quote, as an elder brother or uncle, whatever it is. But you are finding the things that you didn't find at home with that man: guidance, love, affection, patience. You know what I'm trying to say? When this guy calls you to his house now, when he's ready for him to take what he wants, because they will, you would not even hesitate, because you want to pay back, because you feel like you need to even prove your worth to him. You've not been getting this kind of affection. Has anyone ever told you you're beautiful before? Has anyone told you I love you? Have you ever heard I love you at home before? No. So the first time you're hearing the I love you is from this guy who is taking care of you, and it's not even a lot of money if we're going to put it at that. He's just giving you time. He's giving you affection. When this guy has pimped you, groomed you. I hate using those words, those terms, groomed. But when this guy has packaged you in a way that you're like, I have to repay this guy back. When he calls you to his room, he says, open your leg. You're going to be opening your legs. Even if you're not comfortable doing it, you're going to do it, because you believe that that's what is mandated of you, because you believe that in the relationship that you guys have been fostering, you have to do something back for him to show some form of appreciation for him doing those things for you. What are those things that he did for you? Affection, kindness, normal things that you're meant to get at home. These are things that are meant to have been introduced to you by your father without any sexual innuendo linked to it. So you recognize that it's normal. You are meant to get kindness from people. You are meant to get affection from people, warmth. These are things, these are emotions that are rampant, that doesn't have to be associated with sex. So if you grow up now in a place where you don't even have things like that, as you continue to engage in relationships, you are going to continue to find those attributes or traits that you did not see when you were at home in your relationships. And I'm telling you, it doesn't have to always deal with older people. You could be dating someone who is in your peer group, and you're still looking for those traits that you were looking for in a father, in him. And I know that it can be difficult to even accept that this is something that you dealt with as a child, because who wants to agree that they had daddy issues? Who wants to agree that that man that was elderly, or I don't even want to use elderly, but the man that was much older, that we thought that was our, in quote, MAGA, was taking advantage of us? But when you think about it now, maybe you're 27, you're 26, do you ever see yourself going back to secondary school to go and pick up a 14-year-old boy? Say, I want to help him, I want to be dating him. It's almost disgusting. So when you look back, you have to think to yourself and say, was I really as intelligent and mature as I thought I was? Or was I deceived by this man who made me believe that I was much more mature than my peers, so that he could take advantage of me? If you grew up in a family where there were certain traits, certain attributes that you really wish that a father was there to give you, you are going to be seeking those things in your relationships as you go. So if you know this about yourself, you need to find those things that you're seeking in those relationships and give it to yourself. Love, give that love to yourself. Affection, give it to yourself. Security, give it to yourself. Stability, give it to yourself. Because if you give those things to yourself, you don't need to look for it outside. You don't need to look for someone else that's going to give it to you, because you are secure in yourself. You cannot change the past, but you can deal with the present and help you change the future. If you're unable, if you're still carrying the burden that, oh, my father was not there, oh, my uncle was not there, there was no woman to guide me, and every single guy that I'm with that is helping me has to collect something in exchange, you are living based off the past. You don't need to continue to live your life in the same cycle that you had lived it for many, many years. I mean, when you look at those kind of relationships where you are dating somebody who is providing everything you wanted your father to provide for you, is it not skewed, where you feel like you're dependent on the person? The person can gist with you here and there, but every single time they're the ones trying to solve your issues. And this goes back down again to the rescue thing I'm always talking about to us women. Stop looking for someone to rescue you. But it's the childhood thing, where if our fathers are not there to rescue us, we're looking for men who are going to rescue us. And if that is not your father, that is your husband. So the trait that you don't find in your father, you want to find it in your husband. Give it to yourself. Give those things to yourself. Give those attributes to yourself. Fill that void for yourself that you wish your father was there to fill for you. So that is today's conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Girls with daddy issues, I want to hear how this has manifested in your own relationship.